Hello, this is Jamie with Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make this snake stuffy. I'm going to put some pictures up here of one that I made recently, but I already sold it, so I don't have it on hand. But there are some pictures, and this is a really easy make. You can just use some scrap yarns that you have, and so we'll go from there. So what you will need to make the snake is a 7mm hook. If you crochet loosely, you might want to move this down to like a 6.5 or a 6, just so that your stitches stay tight and the stuffing stays in. And then you will need some safety eyes. I just got like a pack on Amazon, or if you don't want to use safety eyes, you can also just crochet the eyes in. That's fine too. Just crochet little circles and sew them on. And you will need scissors and a yarn needle to sew in our ends. And then you will need some yarn. So I'm going to use Bernat blanket yarn. It's a size 6. It's polyester, but it's like a chenille feel to it. So I'm going to use these 3 colors, a blue, gray, and green. In the picture that I showed in the beginning, the black, gray, and white, that was also Bernat blanket. But you could use any yarn that you'd like. If you want to even make this snake smaller, you could use like a size 4 yarn with maybe a 4mm hook. It's just going to be a lot smaller. So, and you can make this as big as you want. I usually do about 50 to 60 inches, but it's just up to you however long you'd like to make it. And then you will need some polyfill. I use this premium polyfill that I get at Hobby Lobby because it's the cheapest there that I can find. Walmart has it a little bit cheaper too, but a lot of the places online, like, or even Joann's and stuff, it's almost like 3 or 4 times the price. So you'll need a little of that, or you can stuff it with yarn ends, whatever you have on hand. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my blue yarn. And we are going to start with a magic circle. And I know a lot of people don't like this. You can also just chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain if you'd like, and then work your stitches inside that circle. I think the magic circle works better. If you need extra help with it, I do have a video for it. I will post it in the description box below. But this is how I do my magic circle. I just put the yarn over my fingers in the back, wrap around and make an X, and then I go under this first loop and over the second one, and then I just pull it up. That's your magic circle right there, and we're going to chain 1. So I just chain while it's still on my hand because then it makes it a little bit more secure. So I go under this and just chain 1, and then you can pull it off your hand. And you should have the loop over here. You can pull it a little tighter if you'd like. Just don't close it all the way up because we're going to work inside of that circle. All right, so from there we are going to do 6. Oh, you know what? You need also a stitch marker. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. You'll want to have a stitch marker because we're just going to keep working in the rounds. So you could use just a regular piece of yarn, or if you have a stitch marker on hand, that will be great. All right, so we're going to do 6 single crochet inside the magic circle. So you're just going to go ahead and do your 6. Now I have to grab a stitch marker because I want to mark that very first stitch. I also want to say that in some of my videos, people are saying I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow. It's really hard to get to a place where everybody's happy. So in your settings, you can change the speed of the video. If you click on settings and playback speed, you can either make it faster or slower, or if you need to keep pausing, that's okay too. I just wanted to mention that so that everybody can work on this together. All right, so I did 1. We're going to do 6 all together. 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then pull your circle tight. So this part that's just hanging loose, we're going to pull that tight now to close up our circle. And with this yarn, you have to be kind of careful that you don't like pull it so that it breaks. Okay, so there we are. We have a little circle with 6 single crochet. And for the second round, we're going to do 2 single crochet in every stitch around. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and that's the first stitch we'll go into. And we're going to do 2 single crochet. But I want you to mark that first stitch. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You could go ahead and do yours, and I'll meet you back. There's going to be 12 at the end of this round, 12 single crochet. Okay, at the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches. Now, it is kind of hard to see your stitches with this yarn, and I'm sorry that I'm using the blue. I hope that you can see. I know darker yarn is harder to see on camera sometimes, but hopefully this is all right. So if you need to mark each stitch while you're starting out, that's okay too. I had to do that when I first started, but as you get going, it gets a lot easier. All right, so moving on to round 3, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So we're going to do 1 here and mark that stitch. And then you'll do 1 in every stitch around. So it will just be 12 single crochet all the way around. So you can pause the video and I'll see you after round 3. Okay, so for round 4, we are going to do a single crochet in the very first stitch. And mark that. And then we're going to do an increase in the next stitch. So we're going to do 2 single crochet in the very next stitch. And that will be your pattern all the way around. You'll do 1 single crochet, and then in the next you'll do 2. And at the end of this round, you should have 18 single crochets. So go ahead and pause the video, and we'll see you after round 4. Moving on to round 5, we are going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around for round 5. So mark that very first one, and you will have 18 stitches again for round 5. So pause, and I'll see you soon. And for round 6, we're going to do another increase round. So we're going to do a single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Whoops, I would mark that very first one. And then we're going to increase in the 3rd stitch and do 2 single crochet in that one. And that will be your pattern all the way around. Single crochet, and then increase in the 3rd stitch. And you should have 24 stitches at the end of round 6. Okay, moving on to round 7, we are going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So you will have a total of 24 stitches again in this round. And just 1 single crochet all the way around. After round 7, it's a good time to insert your safety eyes if you're using those. If you're going to just crochet eyes, you can always do those when you're done with the snake and then just sew them on. But I'm going to do my eyes now. So I usually do them between either row 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, and you can kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4. So either between here or here. I think I'll do them between 5 and 6. So you just put your eye in and the back on. And make sure those are on really good so that, especially if this is going to a child, they're not going to come out. And then maybe like 5 stitches in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks about right. And then make sure that back is on really well. Okay, so moving on to round 8, we are going to do a decrease round. So you're going to single crochet in the very first stitch and mark it. And then we're going to do a decrease, and for stuffies or amigurumi, I like to do an invisible decrease. So If you've decreased before, it's just going, or if you haven't, it's just going into 2 stitches at once to pull them together. So normally I just do that regularly, but I'm going to do the invisible, which is just going through the front loop. So on your stitch, it's kind of hard to see with this, but with this kind of yarn, but you can see there's 2 loops. So here's the front loop and there's the back loop. And we're just going to go through the front loop because then it makes it look more seamless. This is up to you. You could do a decrease through both loops if you want. That's totally fine. So I'm just going to go through the front loop, grab that front loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. So I have 2 loops on my hook. And then before pulling through, I'm just going to go through the next stitch again. So I'm going to go through the front loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. And now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's a decrease. Okay, and then we're going to single, and that will be your pattern around. 1 regular stitch and then a decrease. So we're going to do a single crochet in the next, and then we're going to do a decrease in the next. So go through that front loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, or I'm sorry, go into the next stitch, in the front loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and then you're going to do a regular single crochet, and then you'll do a decrease again. So that's what you'll do all the way around, and at the end of this round you should have 18 single crochet. I'm sorry, I meant at the end of round 8 you'll have 16 stitches, not 18. Okay, so I finished up round 8. So for round 9, we are just going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Make sure that you're still marking that first stitch. And just 1 in every stitch around, and you will have 16 stitches at the end of this round, at the end of round 9. Okay, our snake head is coming along. We just have 1 more round of the head portion. So for round 10, we are going to do another decrease round. So you're going to single crochet in the first stitch, mark your stitch, and then you're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to do the invisible decrease again after that. So in the next 2 stitches, you will single crochet 2 together, just like we did before. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so the next, we're going to single crochet in the next 2, and then do our decrease. I'll just stay on and do mine with you. And this will give us 12 stitches at the end of this round, which is round 10. You'll end with a decrease. Okay, so there's our head, and from this point on, every round until the very end of the tail is going to just be 12 stitches around, and you don't really even have to count, because you can just end the snake whenever you want. I usually end like in the back somewhere so that the yarn doesn't look changed near the front, and I'm going to be changing colors throughout, and I like to do those changes in the back of the project. But so I'm not going to use my stitch marker anymore. You can count every row 12 if you'd like, if that helps you, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the snake is going to be 12s until we get to the tail. So at this point, you want to start stuffing the head. Usually for amigurumi, I stuff really tightly so that, you know, it's smushy and all of that, but that it's not loose. But for the snake, you don't want to stuff too tightly because you won't be able to move the snake around. Like I'll put up a picture here showing how the snake is all curled up. You won't be able to do that if the stuffing is too tight. So you want to just stuff well enough, but so that you can still move it around. That's something to keep in mind. And then I'm going to stuff mine, and then I'm going to come back and just show you how I change the color. And then I'll let you do your whole snake, and we'll come back together at the end so I can show you how to make the tail just taper off. So I'll be right back after I stuff the head. For the head, you can stuff it really well because that part's not going to be moving. And also you have that piece on the inside from your magic circle. You can either sew that in or I just leave it in there. It's fine. I just make sure that I pull it real tight before so that it doesn't come undone. But there we go. So I'm going to use green next and I'm going to get that ready. But I want to go and single crochet to the back of the snake so that I can change the color there. So I'm just going to go around and single crochet a few more here. And everything else will just be single crochet all the way around the snake until it reaches your desired length. Okay, so for my color change, I just go in like I'm going to do a regular single crochet, pull up a loop, and then I pull through my new color on the top there. And then I can cut the blue or I can leave it go depending on how much of each color I'm going to use. I will probably cut the yarn because I'm going to do 3 colors and I don't want to pull this through the whole way, but I'll do that off camera. So from here, then I just put this tail um, on the back and single crochet over it, or you could weave it in. It doesn't matter. I think it's just easier this way. And then I just single crochet and pull that little tail through. And then I just keep going around, single crochet. And you can change colors. You don't even have to change colors. But if you do, you could kind of color block it in a pattern or just do whatever you want. Like for the black and white one, I just did some white, did some black, did some gray. I didn't really pay much attention to how many rounds I was doing of each or how many rows. I thought it kind of was good to just, you know, not really have a pattern with it. So you can keep going around like this. Go ahead and finish your snake as long as you'd like it. I'm going to do mine about 50 or 60 inches, and then I will meet you back at the end to show you how to taper off for the tail. Okay, welcome back. So I finished my snake except for the very end. It's very long here. I ended up doing about 54 inches, I think it was so far. So we just have to finish the end here, which is real easy. And then also I want to show you how to do a tongue if you'd like to do the tongue. You don't have to. I'm hoping I have enough green to finish off the end. So whenever you decide that you are at the end and you want to just taper down so that the tail comes more to a point, we're just going to do a really easy repeat, and we're going to do a single crochet in 2 stitches, and then we're going to do a decrease. Now this is kind of a little bit harder as the snake gets bigger, I'm sure that you've noticed. So then we're going to do our invisible decrease after that. So we do 2 stitches, and then we do our decrease, single crochet decrease again, and then we're just going to keep repeating that until we close everything up. So 2 stitches, and then a decrease. I keep twisting this snake. And you'll want to stuff it again before you get too close on the end. Okay. I'm going to grab some more stuffing, and then I'll just stuff a little bit into the end, and you can overfill it a little bit, and that way if you need to like kind of squeeze it down into the end of the snake when we're finished, you can do that. So I hope this pattern has worked for you and that you've enjoyed it. It's pretty simple, especially once you get going. It's just the biggest pain is changing colors, which isn't even that big of a deal, but it works up pretty quickly, and it's just a mindless project. You can watch TV or, you know, listen to a book or something while you're working on it. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video. Like I said, I hope that it was helpful. And thank you for anybody that's been here before, anybody that's subscribed or, you know, just watched any of my videos. I really appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed, if you would like to, I have a lot of videos up already. Maybe you'll find something else you'd like. I make all kinds of things. It's not just stuffies. So there's all kinds of patterns, stitch videos, tutorials, things like that. And I have a lot more coming too. So take a look. I do giveaways, yarn giveaways every so often as well. And if you could like this video, that would be really helpful. And if you'd like to leave a comment, just let me know what kind of yarn you used or who you were making this for, how it worked out for you, what colors you chose. If there's anything that I could do to help you, you know, feel free to leave a comment below. I'm pretty good about responding to all the comments as soon as I see them. So I'm here for you if you need the help. All right, so when we get to the end, it's kind of getting tighter, and then I'm just going to do one more decrease. Well, this last one, I'm just going to go through both stitches because it's kind of hard to grab that front loop only. Okay, and then I'm just going to chain one and tie off, and I'm going to leave kind of a long tail so I can sew that in. Let me grab my needle. Okay, so at the end here, you will just thread your needle. Sorry, I hope that this has been on camera. I just noticed that I was kind of off camera there. Well, maybe we'll thread the needle. What the heck? Okay, and then you can just kind of close up the top by going in and out of the stitches. Pulling tight. And then if you need to move some of this stuffing down, you can kind of just move it like that, or you can put your hook in and just kind of move it around. Then you can just take your needle and go through any part of the snake, pull it. I usually do that a couple times at least. Make sure it's secure. And then you can just cut that off. Okay, oops, I didn't cut the whole thing. And there you have it, your snake is finished. So from here, you're either done and you can enjoy your new pet, or I will show you how to make the tongue here really quickly. So you'll okay, sorry, the rest of my, or the last part of my video cut off. So I'm just going to show you how to do the tongue if you'd like to do that. I just use a size 4 red yarn and a size 5mm hook. You can use any kind of yarn you want, depending on how thick you want the tongue, and any size hook, between probably a 4 and a 5 or 4 and a 6, I would say. So it's really easy. You're just going to start with a slip knot. And then we are going to chain up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we are going to do a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. Okay, so not this very first one there, but the second one, we're just going to do a slip stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 as well. So we'll do a total of 3 slip stitches in a row, right? And then we're going to chain up 4, 1, 2, whoops, 3, and 4. And this is going to do the other side of the split tongue. And in the second chain from the hook again, we're going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 again. So we matched what we did on the other side. And so far it should look like this. This will be the split part of the tongue here. And then you should have 6 stitches left, like down here. Now don't go into this because we already went into that one. But you should have 6 stitches that we haven't touched yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to slip stitch in each of those, just to thicken this part of the tongue up. 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then I just chain 1 and cut my yarn, but I cut a long piece so that I can sew it into the front of the snake. All right, so there's your tongue, and I just, I'll let you do it. I don't need to do it on camera, but I just kind of go through the front here as best as I can, go back and forth without the red showing too much, and then the tongue will be perfect. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my socials, I am at Creations Misfit on Instagram and TikTok. I would love to get more followers on TikTok. I love posting videos there, but I can't post any links to anything because I think you have to have like 1,000 followers, and I have like 400 or something. So if you're on TikTok, please follow me over there. And thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate everybody. So have a great day. Hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.